I wouldn't necessarily say I've come out. It's kind of been like an exploration. I'm kind of constantly figuring out, and I think it's a lot to do with my diagnosis because I've masked for my whole life. So just kind of masked other women or other girls who were all straight. My sexuality is way more open than just being straight and attracted to one gender or one presentation.
In terms of sexuality, I never did actually explicitly come out to my parents just because I didn't really feel that there was much of a need to. I thought to myself that if I ended up getting into a relationship that I thought I was serious about, at that point I would tell them. And until then, it wasn't really that much of their business.
I don't think you ever finish coming out. I think it's a constant process of actually you're constantly coming out because you'll always meet people who will not know or will assume, and then you have to kind of do it all over again.
I guess in terms of a memorable experience of coming out to someone, was shortly after I transferred schools for sixth form, and I was wearing like quite brightly coloured socks, similarly to the ones that I'm wearing now, and one of my friends was like, "You always wear quite brightly coloured socks. Are you like gay or something?" I was like, "Oh no, I'm bi," and he was like, "Okay, cool." And then that was the first time that I'd actually come out explicitly to someone at that school. And then later on that evening, I was messaging someone. I was like, "Oh yeah, so like I like girls and guys," and she was like, "Yeah, I knew you weren't straight because of the way that you actually like cut your nails properly." And I think that is the wildest way that I've ever heard of someone getting clocked.
This is the most important thing in your life. You can't see anything. The world revolves around this one aspect of you, and you feel like, you know, it's going to define you for the rest of your life. And so I think then when I told my parents, I remember my sister was sat next to me, and my sister kind of said, "Joe has something to tell you." And they were kind of reading the newspaper, mum was knitting or something, kind of really average evening. And my sister kind of said the words for me because I couldn't. And then my parents kind of very nicely, but kind of just went, "Oh, that's nice. Oh yeah, lovely." Or, you know, and then my mum's kind of like, "So what's the crossword puzzle, you know, today," or something, kind of really, almost kind of, I felt, brushed it off. I built it up in my head to be this such big deal that then when they were kind of actually very kind of like blasé about it, "Oh, it's fine," it actually hurt more than maybe because what people forget is that it's such an internally big deal, and you spent years and years of your life fighting with it, that actually you expect a bit of shouting.
A lot of the time, like, I am quite comfortable just being myself and being open about it because I think like today's society with my generation in it is a lot more open to that.
There's 1,000,001 reasons not to do something. You only need one good reason to do it. And there will be a day when there's that one good reason. And I think in my case, I didn't regret it.